Hi kids, welcome to Terry on Tuesday. As my last couple of videos will attest, this is going to be another one of those crappy little mostly tell, not much show videos. But as you can see, a lot's going on, and as usual, a lot's going on, including preparation for the film. We're now in September. Oh my goodness. We're doing some rehearsal on the 18th of September and shooting 2 scenes on the 15th and the 29th. So, squeaky bum time. Anyway, as you can see, I've got a rather nice Boba Fett inspired Mandalorian helmet that I've been working on. You've seen my social medias. Finally put the black visor in with a load of hot glue. Really happy about that. I think it's turned out rather nice. You know, some fake greeblies. And yes, my friend Chris Carter said there's a Lego Technic wheel on the side. Yes, of course there is. Why not? Anyway, you know, my favourite bit of meta, that 6-sided greebly, I might have said this in a previous video, that 6-sided greebly there is actually the flooring of a TIE Fighter model kit. So how meta is that? It's not the first time it's something meta. The Biker Scouts in Return of the Jedi have armour on their biceps up here, and one of the black greeblies on theirs is from Darth Vader's TIE Fighter Airfix model kit. Beat me to it with the meta. Anyway, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about Vl'hurg business. Let's try and put this down without breaking it. Okay. So, as you can see, faceplate looks very nice. And we're quickly going to cut to sometime earlier. Go! So here we go, 50-50. Here's the original rose gold spray, which is a lovely colour. Like it a lot. But when I decided to use gold hammerite that I've been using on this sign, it's got that lovely forged feel, which seems a lot more aged and authentic to the mask itself. I prefer this. We'll have to see what Mr. E says. I can always spray back to that if he wants, but I like that. It just looks less like a toy and more like a historical forged helmet. Look at that. It's blotchy and hammered, as hence the name Hammerite. What do you think? So as you can see, it had a nice coat of gold paint. The paint was marked gold in the can. I still have it here. And it's nice gold. But it's more a rose gold, and I wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? It looked a bit pristine, a bit too much like a toy. So if you remember, I was painting this, the barbershop sign, which took me just over a week to do. I even made myself ill, as you can remember in 2 videos ago. I was illing because of all the fumes and dust. But while I was painting that sign, I was using gold hammerite paint, which gives you that hammered, mottled effect. So I bit the bullet and I painted it with gold hammerite instead, and I love it. I hope Mr. E loves it. As you can see, it's got a sort of 2-tone mottled effect. You can still see a bit of the rose gold underneath, but it looks more like, you know, like battle armor now. It's just got that nice kind of mottled, hammered effect to it, and I really like it. I think it suits. I mean, the video images on the DVD are a little fuzzy anyway, but this kind of looks more like it was, you know, forged in iron, in armor, in battle. But I think that's better. I think that's better. If Mr. E disagrees, then I will happily scrub all this off and put the rose gold back on. But I think this is the nicer. It's more of a yellow than a rosy red, you know. Oh, by the way, went car boot sale this morning. Bought a pair of kiddies shin pads, football shin pads. In the process of taking the logos off and turning them into either, because they're small, they could work as nice sort of braces or van braces, whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to paint them up to match the helmet. And as you can see here, I bought a pair of sort of motocross pads, which were a kind of a yellowy mustard colour, but I thought I'd paint them in the same brown as the helmet. And then I'm going to do some weathering on, then take all the masking tape off. And a final bit, I think on my socials I mentioned I bought a Paw Patrol kids wrist unit, and then I greeblied it up and painted it up and did a rather nice Star Warsy job on it. Button still works. It does speak French and English, but I'm not going to bother with that. Shame it hasn't got any lights on it, but I'm not going to go into fitting lights. But it's a nice little gadget for a custom Mando. So what we got left? Yeah, Vl'hurg times. So, at the car boot sale, I paid 50p for a piece of tube. Hello, how's that doing? It's a submarine. Going down, Roger, going down. Anyway, the reason I bought this is because I need a piece of tube to join where the two horns come together. So I tried it, and this is not big enough. So I hacked off a section of it, split it at the back, because it's going to be cut at the back anyway, and I heated it up over the old cooker and made it slightly bigger. Now that's about the right diameter, but I don't like the fact that there's this huge gap at the back here, you see. So the horns would fit into here, either end, but I'm not happy with all this gap. So I'm going to get a bigger piece of tube, whether it's from a container or something. I'll use something slightly better, but it's worth a try. Now, last week or two, I was talking about the bracket made by MB for me, and what I discovered was the threaded piece that goes into the helmet is way too long. It was, in fact, this long. So that would have been sticking into the head of Mr. E when he wears it. So I did some measurements, and I worked out I needed to cut 50 millimeters off, 5 centimeters off, or 2.5 inches if you're British. Oh, by the way, any Americans watching this, right, including Mr. E, how come the Americans are holding on to the imperial system of inches and pounds and stuff like that? But that's the British system. That is the British, that's why it's called the imperial system. Surely you should be going with the metric system, right? Anyway, rant over. So, I sent this off to my friend Kev, who, I'll give him some really badly drawn instructions, saying to cut 50 millimeters off the back of this threaded piece, and also widen this piece out a little bit. So I told him it needed to be about 1/4 inch wider either side, so 1/2 inch in total. And he's done all that because he's got welding equipment and stuff. Wow. Okay, so this should go nicely now. But before I do a test of it, I want to put the crest on the top of the helmet. But I'm not going to do that right now. I want to fit the mesh behind the eyes and the mouth triangles. Now I had some mesh, I found some mesh from them, you might have seen it before, it was like black and it was spray painted, and it was from this old Dalek kit that I used to have, full-size Dalek. But I was going to use that until, while searching around, I had some leftover mesh from my many Stormtrooper helmet builds, and we've got a couple of bits left. We've got more than enough, you'll see. In fact, that one is marked out. I don't know if you can see the lines marked. Oh, there you go. See the lines marked on that? That's half of a Stormtrooper nose frown, they call it. But no, this is big enough to do both eyes and the holes at the mouth. Now, after watching the clip of the Vl'hurg Commander quite a lot, I have ascertained, if there is such a word, that the mesh is red. I could be wrong. Mr. E, please let me know what you think. I don't think it's black, and I don't think it's gold. So what I'd like to do is cut the pieces out of this, spray it red with the paint that I bought a few weeks ago to match the red, and then pop that behind, or pop the shapes behind there like this, and they'll be red. And if it's still too transparent, I will probably put another piece of like black mesh plastic behind it. You can still see through, but it just darkens the whole thing. But this will be red, and spray this red, and then cut the shapes out and hot glue them all in, because we've got our glue gun now. Welcome. He's called Stuart. We call him Stuart. Why are we called the glue gun Stuart? Because he is Stuart McGluegun. That means nothing to 99% of the people watching this. Stuart McGluegun. I'll tell you next week. Anyway, I'm really happy with that. I really want to go ahead with this and get them red and get them stuck on. But if I do that and Mr. E comes back and says, nah, to be honest, leave them silver or spray them black, then I'd have to try and rip them off, which isn't too bad with hot glue. You can peel it off with a bit of effort. But I would rather not go through all that hassle, because my life generally involves in doing things 2 or 3 times until I get it right, you know? So let's not do that right now. Sorry about that. So much for show and tell. Right. So anyway, final thing. Like I say, I've got the red paint, so I can spray the entire helmet if I want it, and make the crest and the ridge around the edge. I'll put pictures up so while I'm talking, so you can see what other bits, and they'll be painted in hammerite gold as well to match the rest of the helmet. I still have to stick the flaps over on the leatherette flaps. Remember those? I've got the glue. There's nothing stopping me. I should do that. Oh, let me tell you about these. You wonder what these are. This is a resin 3D print of an ankh, Egyptian cross type thing, made in 2 parts. Come on. Come on. Get out. Look, look, look. Yeah, made in 2 parts so they fit together. Really nice resin print from a really nice model by Peter G modelled it for me, but the actual design came from Mr. Glazy, who came up with 100 different designs for one of these, all different configurations using an AI program. Then I got the images. This is where I break it on camera. No, I got the images, cobbled them together in Photoshop the way I want them, especially with a round thingy here and a scarab and stuff. And I sent the image to Peter G, and he sculpted this in CG, and then we sent the model to Ashley, who did the canopic jars, and they came back the other day, and they're really nice. They're a lovely sort of soapy mint colour. I need to give these a wash. I need to. There's a little bit of a sprue there that needs breaking off and trimming, but I'm going to give them a wash in soapy water, as they say, is recommended, and then we shall get them painted. I am going to try and get Andy, who did the canopic jars, to spray these gold for me, because the gold he used was not a rose gold. It was more a yellowy gold like this, but it was very, very reflective, if you remember. Here's a pic. So as you can see, the gold on that is super nice. Now the answer is, someone asked me, why don't I get them electroplated so they got chromed in gold? We don't have that kind of budget. And while we're talking about that, if you'd like to see these in electroplated in proper reflective gold and many other things, you could help out with the Bloody Students fundraiser. Here's the details. Basically, we're doing a little bit of a raffle in the run-up to September's shoot, where I've decided to offer 2 prizes. One is a film set prize, as it says here, where you can come and visit us on set. If we're filming a scene that would involve other people, and there will be scenes, especially in the new year, that will involve people in the background, we can drop you in as a little cameo. If you don't fancy going on in front of the camera, you can still come visit us, have lunch with us, watch us filming, help out a little bit maybe, and that kind of thing. We'll give you a screen use prop or something. We'll get the signed script and even a signed clapperboard that you can take home with you as a little kind of thank you for that. But if none of that floats your boat and you just want to sort of help out, and get a different type of prize. The second prize, as it says there, is a pet portrait. These have gone down, the interest is quite high on these because basically I've got a lot of friends who've got a lot of animals, mostly dogs, but you know, I'm up for painting anything. I will paint you a portrait on canvas, about 12 foot, 10 by 12, something like that, of your pet from a photo that you supply. I can't do it immediately, but I'll do it as soon as I possibly can. And I don't have any previous pictures of pets painted to show you, but I have been painting since I was about 10 years old. The most recent thing I did was a couple of years ago. It's a full size, not full size, it was a 30 by 40 inch canvas of Elvis during his, whatever, 1970 something comeback. 1970, I think it was 1970. So I did that, and that sold rather well. So yes, I'm happy to paint your pet. If your pet is a rock, that would be much easier. If your pet is a slug, we can do that. But generally it'll be a cat or a dog, won't it? I'm not painting people. Don't be sending photos of your husband and saying, this is my pet. I'm not painting people, I'm just painting, it's a pet portrait thing. If you don't have a pet, and you don't want to do the film thing, okay, well, we could still send you stuff as a prize, signed stuff, video from the cast, signed clapperboard, prop, that kind of stuff, copy the script, whatever. So it's only £2 per entry via PayPal, and if you do it via PayPal, please select sending money to friends or family, because PayPal will take a chunk out. They take like 34p out, and it's like pointless. And also it's not fair on other people who've entered and sent in the full £2. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, if you can do that, that would be awesome. We'll assign you your numbers. We've only had about 5 or 6 entrants so far, but I have had a couple of entries from people who just want to help out, and they've already said, if I get picked, roll again, I just want to help out. So I want to say a big thanks to the people who've done that, especially the one person who put in quite a few entries and messaged me saying, I just want to help out. So from the heart of my bottom, thank you. Yeah, so that's what's happening with the bloody students thing. I have still got 2 mummy costumes to finish making. I've made a start, and I've got a heck of a lot of bandages in there that need dyeing, and I've cut them all up, and they need dyeing and weathering and stuff. Big shout out to my friend Noel, aka Samurai Bunny on Instagram, who's been making axes and a dismembered mummy arm and a few other things. Really, really nice work. All ready for September's shoot, where we'll be shooting with the great Paul Putner in a comedy cameo. Anyway, I've been talking for the best part of 20 minutes now, so I will leave it here, because I know the shorter videos tend to go down well anyway. My 30-40 minute videos, the attention drops off after about 10 minutes. So I'll leave it here. Hopefully I'll have more to show you, obviously on the helmet and the eyes and everything else, and the crest and the redness of the helmet and the flaps and all that malarkey. I am knackered. I went to bed this morning at 6 a.m. and then I forgot that I had car boot sale at 8 a.m. so I had 2 hours sleep, and it's now about 3 in the afternoon and I'm kind of feeling it. I do need to go outside and strimmer the garden. The garden needs sorting once more before the end of the year, which I'm not looking forward to in this weather. It's either too hot or too wet. But you don't want to hear about my woes. Anyway, thank you for watching, as always. As all the YouTubers say, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and smash that like button and smash the bell and all that. But look, if you enjoyed it and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button anyway, and you'll get a little email every time I got a video, and it's usually on a Tuesday. Or there will be other stuff. As some of you may have noticed on social media, I was a bit naughty last week, and I went and leaked some stuff to do with the first film, and then I had to quickly remove it because I was not allowed to share it. My bad. I didn't realise I had to get written permission, and I was a bit naughty and leaked it to a lot of people, and I subsequently had to remove it rather quickly. Not that I'm going to get sued, but I want to do things right, and I'll share it again when I'm allowed to, which won't be too long. So we all make mistakes, and I just wanted to share good news. This first film, Off-World, has been 7 years in the making, and I just want to show people some progress and some good news. But it will come. It will come soon. Anyway, that's all for me for this week. I will see you next week with the best intentions and hopefully a little bit more progress on all sorts of stuff. Take care now. Bye bye then.